McClure Live. I can't wait to see all the people that are out here taking credit for all this. I hope Blake and Sterling Scott are here today at 11 on Monday. One of the employees of the burger place, Whataburger, asked me if I was involved with any of this. I said, yeah, I was. He goes, well, then you must be with Schmidtline. See, where do you start? Where do you start to tell the truth? Where do you start? At what part do you begin? Do you begin back when Mace and Dana Kaye put that deal in the 60s? They turned down 29th and Fairlawn. They wanted to be on this side of town. I can't even get one of the city council people to understand, Brett Kell, to understand this land had been vacant and was kept vacant due to the ground lease that Arlen had that went half price. Richmond Gordman. You know, that went bankrupt. Not only did Gordman go bankrupt, the successor went bankrupt. Left the family with a lot of back taxes. Dana Kaye finally talked him into building the theater. Then after the theater was in place, he made the deals with Bennigan and Steak and Ale. Then he sold 5 acres of land in that building to Mainline Printing. Then we were able to buy out the ground lease from Nellie Mays that was done in the 60s. And for the first time ever, then we had total control over the real estate. But right here, what you don't understand, this wasn't creating any property tax or sales tax. And through TIF and CID, which the developer originally shared the proceeds of TIF and the CID with both these people just to get them to come to Topeka. Then time marches on. We've got a done deal. Everything's fine. We're clipping down the road. Then Braxton decides to put all this work on the developer. Go down there by White Lakes and look at all those islands in there that we're tearing out here. Look at all this. Look at all this. This is $1.7 million in additional work that the city decided to do because of a California-based engineering company. Well, they decided, because that's the way they do it in California. California is a state run by the deep state. Molly Howie, who gives out money to charities right and left, an NGO. Don't you think, I mean, where do you give your charitable money? Don't you want to decide? Don't you think it's unfair to pay sales tax and then have an NGO give your tax dollars away that's really supposed to go to economic development to charities? Ask Spencer Duncan why he allows Go Topeka to do that. He's on Jetto. He is a Jetto vote. He's not outside saying we need to change it. If he's elected to any other office, he'll just keep doing the way he's doing it. They got 85, 90 people over there that work there every day. I don't know how many employees Whataburger has, but Molly Howie continues to say those aren't jobs. And I continue to say, Molly Howie, your charities aren't economic development. But what they are and what that money does, okay, that woke me up. What they are and what that money does, that money keeps the people that are on the city council or the county commission elected. And it makes sure that Go Topeka continues to get money. But if you had to come up with $1.7 million just out of the deal a year and a half later, it doesn't work. It's not fair. And if you don't think this stuff gets out, hey, Whataburger, I saw you just did a deal in Topeka. What do you think? What would you say? I see some people making some comments. Number one, it's too small to read. And these sunglasses, I can barely even see if I'm on the screen. The major problem with Benish, the California-based company that's milking to the tune of $1 million, because our administration can't hire somebody to do traffic because nobody wants to go to work for the city. The way they treat their employees, lawsuits here, consultants there. These are what we call shenanigans, baby. Hey, there's a wiffle ball. Okay, so this is what's really interesting. When you start really adding it up, this is one thing government doesn't do. They don't sit there and they don't have to balance the ledger. And the way I look at our city council, our county commission, is they're like alcoholics. They're in a bar and they never have to pay the tab personally. They just hand us the tab. Look at this. What did all this cost? Look at this faux brick. What's crazy about Benish, for those of you that remember White Lakes Mall and the sales that it used to do, in the day, White Lakes was Northeast Kansas's premier shopping center. People came far and wide to shop at White Lake. We couldn't even use in the traffic study the lost traffic from the lost sales of White Lake. And all these improvements just to add a couple of fast food restaurants in there? Oh, somebody lost their Sara Lee. Bunt cake or whatever it is, bread. What Topeka does, they get their hooks in you. And then they hold it over you. They hold the approvals, they hold the deal. This thing should have been opened up months ago. Months ago. And it goes back to Steve Wade. It goes back to Benish. And I think Braxton Copley if you guys haven't figured it out, we've got to change the way we do things with government. And if you were the guy paying the $1.7 million, you'd be yelling louder. But these deals almost didn't happen. These aren't going to change the economic future of this industry, of this town. But it's what people want. So then let's go buy a hotel. Let's spend all that money on a hotel. Any incumbent should never be elected. And not one incumbent ought to be elected. Not one of them. So then, I don't care if you voted for the hotel or not for the hotel. Who was up there being the most vocal saying, who was the one up there most vocal saying, boy, you don't need to be buying that hotel. Who's the leader of the pack? You can't just be the person that sits up there and says, well, you know, at the last meeting, I won't support it. You got to lobby. You got to get out and work. That's what a mayor does. We're the salespeople. Those that boast about the land bank. Oh, look at all those people. Look at all those people. Hey, Molly, look at all those people that aren't jobs. But anybody that wants to boast having the land bank in place. Hey, I got the land bank in place. And the housing trust. And take credit for that. That was $1 million in taxpayer money. You should have taken all that and put it in infrastructure. Let the market decide what's going on. And anybody sitting up on city council that thinks they're better than figuring out the market, well, look at what they do for a living. Neil Dobler himself, look how many projects. I would love to know a line item, since Neil's been on council, about how much money has been earmarked to Bartlett and West. I think that's going to be a big number at the end of the day. Dana Kay got this light put in the 60s. Back then, this was a state highway. State Highway 75. Anybody that wants to get elected to office and starts bragging about their tenure in office, that's why you throw them out. I'm the most pro-business guy we got, but to stand up against the chamber, who controls the town like a king. The chamber is king in this town. In Washington, the bureaucracy's king. Saying that I won't take a salary and I won't take campaign contributions, and saying it here on Facebook, it isn't going to be enough unless people that are loyal to these ideas tell their neighbor to vote. You know, at the chamber thing, the chamber get to know the candidates. Well, what are you going to do about infrastructure and roads? Well, I'm going to get the MTPO implemented where it's open to the public. You know, we're not in compliant with public involvement where all the federal funds go. Because our governments, the city and county, are above playing by the rules. They are. They're above playing by the rules. I think that Kevin Cook is one of the most smug guys I've ever met. He's just in it for the bureaucracy. Look how far down that goes. Hell, the guy that owns the car dealership says, "What in the hell are you doing?" And then on top of it, he's worried about him having to pay for it. I like that guy. What a good dude. I like John. So a guy that owns a car dealership right across the street is asking me, "What the hell you doing?" That tells you how stupid it is. He was relieved to know that he wasn't having to pay for it. And then he felt bad that Sterling and Blake were having to pay for it. You guys don't know this, and that's why and maybe you do, but the reason I keep talking about a uniform development agreement, it's that way the governing bodies can't get at you. All you're doing is complying, because Topeka is a retaliatory town. I'm not running against four nice guys that think they want to help. I'm running against the system. The system. James Bolden said it better to me. We were talking after the debate there, or whatever it was. Solve the world in 45 seconds. He said this is rigged. The system's rigged. And hearing from him, he just sounded better. Chick-fil-A will tell you who their king is. That's why they're not open on Sundays. Oh man, look at all this. I gotta go over here. Can you see over there? There's got to be 100 people outside. Molly Howie, there's 100 people over there that don't have jobs that are showing up there. The food must be so good they're trading their time for grub. What I can tell you from my own personal experience, that you pay for your transgressions. And Molly one day will have to answer for her transgressions of saying, all the nice people here, those aren't jobs. I haven't even gotten to the AT&T building and $9.5 million earmarked. They don't even have a signed lease. Everybody's under construction. The system is rigged, especially at the AT&T building. Ask Spencer how that whole deal is going down. Not only is he a Jetto vote, he's on the council. And I like the idea of this. Ask Spencer. Because he was talking about at the... he was talking about at the chamber rig session. 45 seconds to solve the world's problems. Should have got over here early. American flag. Wish I'd have wore my press pass. Brady Wagner's online. The election office is just over there. Got more food coming for the election office. Brady, that's going to be more calories for you to have to burn off, my brother. Brady's a hard worker. They've already outgrown this main line. Main line taking that building has as much to do with John Parker Jr. as the city garage. Watch all the glad handers down here at the ribbon cutting. And no, the only reason they're there is probably because this company joined the chamber. That's an earful. We've got to put the planning commissions back together. And at the end of the day, after the planning commissions have voted, it's over. Let's appoint the right people, good people that understand planning and community service. It shouldn't have to go to the governing bodies, even if it's just the consent agenda. We have to put the MTO or the MPO, the entity that funnels the federal funds to our community, where we're supposed to have public involvement about the roads, where you don't come on 29th Street by California 2 weeks before and just tell the business owner in 2 weeks, we're closing the road down. If you know you're going to do that, you can take the sales 6-7 months ahead of time and channel them different. But none of these people understand any of this because they're not business people. That's why we need to have smaller government. Let the market decide, and the people. Here endeth the epistle. And to the government of the City Council of Topeka and the County Commission, Lord, rebuke you.